Constantine 2005 with Keanu Reeves. Yes, completely different than Constantine from Hellblazer. Welcome to Vouch for Me. I'm your host, Eric West, and with me I have PapaNasty.
Hey.
And Abraham.
What up?
This was PapaNasty's pick. He picked a damn good movie, but I guess we'll decide later whether or not we vouch for him. Did you watch this when you were a kid in 2005?
Bits and pieces. Not really. I was too scared.
Oh, yeah, no, that's real though. Fuck.
I was shitting my pants to it, yeah. Well, we lived in a real haunted house, so these movies, I was like, yeah, fuck this. That's the devil right there? Nah, I'm cool. I'm going to my room and gonna play with my toy.
No, that's the last thing you need though, is like a movie that actually depicted demons and ghosts and fucking the coming of Satan's son. That's insane. This movie had some out of pocket shit.
New fear unlocked. Here we go. Thank you.
Having a demon born from your stomach?
Yeah, that was wild.
An evil rapture? Who knew?
Abel, did you see this movie in theaters, or how did you see it?
No, I saw it as a rerun on TV. It was probably on FX or AMC. So I definitely didn't see it in 2005. I think I saw it a couple years later after it was, on reruns on TV. And I thought it looked cool.
Wait. 2005? I would have been like 9 years old. Yeah, I didn't see that when it came out.
Like, I already knew who Keanu Reeves was at that point because I'd grown up and seen The Matrix. So I'm flipping channels. I see this cool movie with Keanu Reeves. And so I just left it on and I watched it. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Keanu Reeves versus the forces of hell. I have no idea what's going on. I can't comprehend any of this mumbo jumbo, but it's cool.
What's your synopsis now of the movie?
Is exactly what I said. Keanu Reeves fights the forces of hell.
Technically, this is a Christian film. This could be...
Yeah, if you're a very devout Christian, you should go watch this movie.
Yeah, this is... technically, yeah. My grandma, it was like one movie where she didn't mind us watching because it was like pretty dark. And she's like a big Christian Catholic, more Catholic. But yeah, it was one of those films she's like, aye.
It's like this meme I see where people say... well, since the Slayer in Doom is going around killing demons, this is actually a very Christian game. You should buy it for your kids. And also, I noticed that the demons kind of reminded me of some of the enemies in Doom, where like the mindless drones, hordes of hell, they're missing like the top half of their head.
What's cool about the Constantine in the movie is that the director, he was inspired by the Hellblazer series, which ran from the late 80s, early 90s, all the way up into modern day. But he took the general concept of it and he adapted it into this movie. And so there are a few arcs that he did base this off of. So that's pretty fascinating, but with his own spin on it. I mean, some of the big things are, you guys are big DC nerds, and Constantine, they made a show out of it. He's a British guy, but rather than this being based in England, it was based in LA. And then we got Keanu Reeves, is obviously not British, and they make him all dark and grungy, and he's a fucking chain smoker.
I mean, he is a chain smoker in the comic.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like a tough guy, but there's something about him that just comes like he's I don't know, he's too soft to be tough. It's so cute. He's like a little sassy.
He comes off as more of an asshole than a dick. I don't know.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, yeah, he seems kind of tough. Maybe
it's because we know in real life he's way too nice.
He's a sweetheart. But I do love like looking back at some of his older films and then seeing how he's like an asshole, and I'm like, I fucking love that. There's another film, Street Kings, that you guys are going to love, that he's like a dickhead. Like you're going to see, you'll love it.
This was directed by Francis Lawrence, and he not only did, so this was his first movie he directed. If you guys are curious.
What a banger right out the gate.
Yeah, I'm positive that he has director commentary over the film, because he has director commentary over some deleted scenes. So it was kind of interesting to hear his perspective. We'll tell you guys all about that here in a bit.
What deleted scenes are you talking about? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they deleted a whole ass character, but we'll get to that. So Constantine was his first one. I Am Legend was his second one. And then Water for Elephants, which had, what's his fucking it?
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, dude. Dude. Some girl was out there fucking watering his elephant. You know what I'm saying?
Pure.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man.
Eric's going to be here all weeks, folks. Catch him in the alleyway giving blowjob.
What he's most famous for these days is he's directed pretty much almost the entire Hunger Games franchise.
I think the entire Hunger Game franchise. I'm looking at it right now.
The only one he didn't direct was the first one, right?
Yeah, what the hell? That's so random.
Because the first one was essentially like an indie movie on a low budget.
Oh, that's cool. Well, fuck, I didn't know that. Damn. Okay, well now we got to do a Hunger Games episode. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
One of our fans will love that.
Oh yeah, your intern.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Hunger Games came out, Abel? Did you ever read the books or anything like that?
I did not read the books, but I did watch the movies. In theaters, I watched the first two, and I never watched Mockingjay in theaters. But I basically had like the general gist of the story down because like everyone was talking about it, like it was like a popular book / movie series at the time.
Yeah, I was like, a girl hero?
Hugh,
So
Hugh, 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 Hugh.
That could never
And then
be.
that's when he discovered Rule 34.
No,
Wait a minute.
No, what?
Wait a minute, you pervert. He's a bad man.
No,
He's going to go
but
to
in the movies,
jail.
he's gonna go to jail. In the movies, I was like, okay, I can see how Candace Everdene's a badass. Okay, I take it back.
So this movie cost $100 million to make, and then it box office was $230 million. That wasn't a giant splash because this did take place in 2005. And my favorite segment of the show, the top 10 movies from 2005. First of all, Abel, have we done a movie from 2005 before?
I could have sworn I'm getting deja vu right here.
Okay, yeah, because we're starting with Hitch. I swear, Batman Begins, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was the weird one, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Madagascar, King Kong, War of the Worlds, which I don't know what the fuck that is.
What? With Tom Cruise?
Oh, yeah, that's that movie. Okay, all right. Chronicle of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then, I don't know, did we have this conversation? Because, yeah, Star Wars Episode 3 came out 2005, and then Harry Potter, Goblet
Batman
of Fire.
Begins. No, that was 2004. That was 2004, I think.
No, this Batman Begins is on this list, yeah.
Okay, it was 2005.
Beep, boop, boop, boop. You got Abel. Reboot.
Oh, so that's how we've talked about this before. It's in our lost tapes.
Yeah. And the never seen footage that'll ever release. No, we had to redo it.
No, when we're completely and utterly famous and we need to show people that to be humble, like, hey guys, you know, you could start from nothing, and then we'll show them the videos and then they'll hate us.
They'll laugh at us.
But yeah, that's but of course we got our boy Keanu Reeves. Dude, Keanu Reeves looks crazy in this photo. I'm looking at why they do him dirty like this. Jesus Christ.
He's like 20 years younger.
God damn, I don't want to look at that anymore. It made me kind of sad. But the movie itself, okay, we talked about all these other elements to it, but dude, the movie itself, I just feel like is a chef's kiss. They did it justice for what it is. As what I think Abel's told me it before. As a standalone film, it's a banger. As a Constantine film, I mean, they really did take a lot of artistic liberties.
It's Constantine in name only, really.
I mean, they whoa, tell me how, because he did the things.
So basically, like, this is not meant to be interpreted as like any kind of bad comment or slander, but like you said earlier, he took a bunch of traits and arcs from various stories in Hellblazer, and he made essentially an original story out of it. But as fans of Hellblazer would say, like, the only thing it has in common with the character of Constantine from the comics is the name and the chain smoking. Everything else this is pretty much like an original movie, more or less.
His character is different for sure. His understanding of the supernatural, him working with people,
his superpowers.
Yeah, in this one, it doesn't seem like he really screws people over, but Papa Midnight kind of makes it sound like he got screwed over once by Keanu. But once again, Keanu just looks too nice to hurt anyone's feelings and screw them over.
Well, also in the comics, John Constantine is he's a sorcerer. He's a magician of sorts, or a warlock specifically. But in the movie, he's essentially just an exorcist who has like who knows how to do a couple spells here and there.
And then like Papa Midnight is like a piece of shit in the comics. And then this one, he's like a crusade, like one of the original, what would you call them, like exorcists battling the supernatural type character.
He was a witch doctor, I think is what he called him in the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so just like going with like the general plot of this movie, what fascinates me is, so they find the Spear of Destiny, I believe, right at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, some random dude in Mexico just happened to come across it.
And so
Scavenger.
So we're just spoiling we're just spoiling the absolute fuck out of this movie. But the Spear of Destiny is so it was the spear that was used to murder Jesus Christ. I don't know why I'm giggling when I say that, but the lore of this movie is absolutely insane. So some guy found the spear that murdered Jesus Christ, and then the son of Satan is somehow tied to it because it's the most evil artifact to exist. Is that kind of what that means?
Yeah, so basically, like, the prophecy said, like, the weapon used to kill one son will be used to give birth to the others. So, like, God's son, Jesus, was killed by the spear. But since, like, hell is, like, essentially the opposite of heaven, logic-wise, that means that same weapon will allow Mammon to exist.
And supposedly the Spear of Destiny is a real life artifact.
Yeah, it's currently locked away in the same place where Indiana Jones hid the Ark of the Covenant.
No, quit fucking joking around, Abel. I'm serious.
All right.
God damn it.
Or we're not trying to discredit your Hebrew mythology.
Well, it ties into World War II because, like, the opening title card says, like, the Spear of Destiny was lost after World War II or some shit, and that man in Mexico found it wrapped in a Nazi flag underground.
There's a whole conspiracy behind the Spear of Destiny and that the Nazis may have that, but that's another episode for
maybe they lost it during the Alamo.
Yeah, maybe, Eric.
Remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Yeah,
This whole episode, PapaNasty is gonna fucking hate us. He's like, "Hey, I'll make a joke about a transgendered person, but don't you dare joke about Christianity."
Yeah. When did I talk about your surgery, Eric? Oh my god,
It's a joke. It's all a joke.
it's all a joke.
All right, so yeah. So that's the context of that. So that's pretty fascinating. But right out the gate, Keanu Reeves knows that something's up, but nobody believes him. That's the best part. He's like, I don't know, man. These demons seem kind of angry, and like they're trying to get pass through to the living, and they're like, no, that's not possible.
It was a soldier demon.
Yeah,
that he saw, and then he was attacked. Spoiler, by a full-fledged demon, not a half-breed, is what can walk the plains of the earth.
and once again, people didn't believe him again. He's like,
I know.
And he saying, like, these are becoming more common occurrences lately.
he's like, this should never happen, and it's happened more than once in a week, you guys.
It's like the Doofenshmirtz meme. If I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice.
Yeah, it just goes to show you though how many fucking tricks he's pulled on people where no one believes him. They're just like, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of here. You don't believe your ass.
That's cool. That does give credence to his his character in this. What I think is hilarious is his 2 friends. He only has 2 friends. One of them's Pastor.
Father Hennessy.
Basically.
Yeah, his name is Hennessy.
Fitting name for an alcoholic.
My favorite fucking name after PapaNasty.
Also, he clearly has some kind of superpower.
Yeah, like
It's like sight.
there's a word for it, but it's evading me. Yeah, it was like kind of like psychic, but not quite. Like, because he was like able to like discern information by just touching like the newspaper clippings and stuff.
Yeah,
Not even reading them.
certain news like atrocities. Like he was hearing the murders of this and that and all these like fucked up things. Some about deaths, people dying. He can see how they died, right? Like that's what I kind of got the.
Yeah.
Like he was going through the obituaries.
Yeah, he acted like he was all cool. He was just reading the obituary. That's crazy. He's like doing all this for no reason. He's like, eyes are rolling back, and bro just turned to the obituary. He's like, okay, I found another one.
And then there's like his other guy that he calls on the phone, Beeman.
And he dies from bugs.
Yeah, interesting little thing there. But he also has his little apprentice, Shia LaBeouf.
Well, they both died from the things they love. Father Hennessy loved the booze, and then Beeman loved the insects or the bugs, and then they both got killed by them.
Did you know Beeman was in a bowling alley?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was hiding in the back of a bowling alley.
they all lived there.
Well, I didn't realize that. I feel like they didn't depict that very well in the movie, and I had to see a deleted scene of them walking through the bowling alley. And then, like you're saying, PapaNasty, he lived above the bowling alley. And then Hennessy, he lived somewhere else.
I don't think we ever saw where he lived.
At a liquor store, maybe?
Yeah. Then we have Chaz Kramer, driving Constantine around as his personal chauffeur. And he's supposed to be like another exorcist in training. Like, Constantine's supposed to be training him, but like he's just dragging him around, making him his errand boy.
I guess in the comics, he was an older guy, but in this, they wanted to make him younger and apprentice-like. And he had that natural Shia LaBeouf charm. And what's great is even watching the deleted scenes of the director reviewing some of the tapes, Shia LaBeouf makes a little joke and the guy's chuckling to himself and he's just like, Shia LaBeouf and his little jokes. I'm like, okay. I don't know. Everyone thought he was so funny in 2005 just from how awkward he was.
He was writing off his stardom from Even Stevens and Holes. He was becoming a star back then, and then he hit gold with Transformers.
And then he fell off. Poor man. Poor Shia.
Yeah, it turns out the guy's insane.
That's what's going to happen to you. Now that we found out all about fucking Hollywood and all, Nickelodeon, I can only imagine what Disney was doing back then.
Oh man, Disney has the fucking skeletons in the closet like nobody's fucking business.
But I guess we have to save that for another time. Jesus
We'll
Christ.
have to on another pod.
The opening sequence of Constantine was sick. I did like him performing the exorcism, trapping the fucking demon in the mirror and chucking it out the window. That was cool as hell.
I always thought it was funny. I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, I always thought it was funny how, like, that one man in the room, like, looks at the girl while she's being exercised and suddenly his hair starts turning white and he starts, like, freaking out or some shit. I was like, what? So looking at an exorcism makes your hair turn white? What's going on? Like, what exactly happened to that dude?
His soul was getting sucked out, I guess.
But there's something to that. Like, yeah, your hair will turn white if you look it in the eyes.
It was just some superstitious stuff. Like, that didn't even sound like something like Catholic. That just sounded like a superstition. They're like, put that in the movie. Put that in the movie. That shit's gold.
They're all like coked out, just like writing ideas. Like, yeah, we're gonna put. What do you say, Abel? Yeah, fuck it, we'll put that.
Yeah. Later, so later he meets a woman because the woman's sister committed suicide, but the woman's like, no, she would never have committed suicide.
She's a devout Catholic. It sends you to hell if you commit suicide. So she's like, this has to be like, this is suspicious. Like, she would never do that, even though she's admitted to like a freaking asylum or something.
Now tell me why she killed herself, because I'm still like, what the fuck?
So Balthazar was fucking with her. He was making her go crazy. He was
showing her visions. Her or her sister were supposed to be chosen to be the vessel for Mammon or something.
Oh, okay.
The baby mom?
Oh, the baby Mammon.
Because that's why, because when Constantine later investigates, when Father Hennessy investigates her corpse in the morgue, she has the symbol of Mammon on her arm, and that's when he freaks out and realizes, like, oh shit. But then Balthazar, like, influences him, and that's when Hennessy, like, can't drink anything, and then drinks himself to death, because even though he thinks that he's not drinking anything, he in fact is.
Do that motion again, Abel. How were you doing it?
Yeah. Show us how he was drinking.
How was he doing it?
The glizzies?
Yeah.
The air
dicking. Dude, you keep air dicking every pod. We didn't know how to tell you.
PapaNasty, did I ever send you that one video on TikTok of the guy in the hot dog costume?
The Glizzler or no?
Oh god, it's this absolutely hilarious thing. I'll send it to you later.
But okay, so I know Balthazar was driving her insane, but also I'm under the impression she took her own life because she understood she was going to be a vessel for Mammon.
Yeah, she was trying to get out of it, probably. Yeah, that's why she calls out to Isabel and Constantine, like, from beyond the grave, essentially. Like, the way she looks at the security camera and says their names before she jumps.
You know, it's like the time when your girlfriend's telling you, like, you know what? We're done. I'm breaking up with you. And then you're like, I'm going to kill myself if you don't stay with me. Okay. And then she's like, okay, we're going to stay together. And then you guys are back together and everything's fine.
Wait, so you sent her doctored security footage of you jumping off of a building?
Yeah.
She's like, I wish he was still here. And then you pop up out of nowhere. I am.
You threaten them. You just let them know.
I lost it.
I've had a bottle of Hennessy and I'm feeling crazy.
Oh, you pulled a Huckleberry Finn is what you did. The old Huckleberry Finn. Fake your own death. But her death wasn't fake. She genuinely did die, you insensitive bastard. And now her sister's real sad. And then she meets Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves is like, I work alone, basically.
Also, your sister's in hell.
She's a hardcore skeptic and doesn't believe in any of this shit until she sees it firsthand.
Yeah, what did she see? It's when the pretty weird scene, right, of him going to hell.
Right before that, they get attacked by demons in the street, but then he, like, makes them go away.
Yeah.
But then she only really does come around when he transports himself to hell in her room to go see if her sister's in hell. And then he comes back with her, like, hospital bracelet. And he's also, like, cooking. He's got, like, smoke and steam coming off his body.
Yeah.
Funny bit, when I watched that scene, I thought it was funny because the freaking, like, pot that she gave him to use for the water, like, My mom has that exact same pot for roasting, so I was like, oh, wow.
What
Dude,
the
my mom
fuck?
does too. Yeah, it's a turkey pot.
Yeah. Yeah, she used it for making pot roast, and I was like, wow, we have the exact same one. I feel old.
So did you try it? Did you put your feet in the one?
I don't have a cat. When he's like, I hate this part, because he has to look into the cat's eyes or something.
Yeah, the cat's name was Duck. That was hilarious. I was like, "Oh, come here, Duck. I'll take you home."
Doesn't she like also reveal like they both were able to like see the supernatural since they were kids, but she chose to ignore it while Isabel embraced it, sort of?
It was super fucked up. Yeah.
She just accepted it and was like, then she started going crazy by it because
Made her own sister think she was crazy.
Yeah, it was worse off because when they got confronted by adults, the sister's like, help, I can see demons. And then the other sister's like, what are you talking about? She just starts gaslighting her.
oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, she's like, you can see them too, right? And she absolutely can, but she lied and said she doesn't.
Okay, so just going off the random questions I've had about this movie, you guys kind of helped me out with Spear of Destiny. She killed herself on purpose by herself. Balthazar, what the heck? He just wanted to bring back Maman because Balthazar was a piece of shit.
He's like half demon, so he's just serving his side.
He's like higher up demon. Like I think in the comic books he's higher up. Like he's one of Constantine's like right up their rivals. Like,
Arch enemies.
Yeah, I think him and like another dude. But yeah, they're always having beef back and forth. That's why he's like, he's dressed up fancy and he looks all clean. And then he's the one kind of giving orders and he's the one making the deal with a certain somebody that we will not spoil.
I think we can. Go ahead and do
We'll
it.
get to that part.
Gabriel, the fucking... And this one, the Archangel Gabriel in this one is a dirtbag. And is making a deal with Balthazar to bring back the devil's Mammon.
Why the fuck did she want to do that, by the way? Gabriel or him?
Just like again with like the devil, they became jealous of humanity and the fact that we are imperfect, but then we could end up going to heaven for repenting, and we can truly be embraced by him. And it was just jealousy, just the classic.
So his motivation kind of reminded me of General Shepard in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So in Modern Warfare 2, this dude starts World War 3 essentially because he wants like to drive up like recruitment rates, like make Americans more patriotic and warmongering and stuff, because a couple years prior, like an entire like division of the Marines and Army were wiped out by a nuke in the Middle East, and no one wanted to enlist in the military because of it. And so similar logic here. Gabriel is upset that like a lot of people are slowly just not being Christian anymore. And so they're like, well, if we let hell take over the earth, then people will become more devoted to God, and those who stay devoted will be worthy of heaven.
Yeah, she's like, you will finally be worthy of his embrace. And like, yeah.
And yeah, Constantine's like, you're fucking insane. You know that, right?
Dude, that was a goated explanation. I appreciate that because I really was in the dark about what the fuck was going on there. Did you know that they were planning on having a whole ass, Constantine was going to have a girlfriend who was a half-breed demon that he was banging in the movie. And they even filmed scenes of it, and they took it out because it made it look like he wasn't lonely and misunderstood.
Yeah.
You could still be lonely and misunderstood. I don't know.
You're banging demons. Yeah, you're lonely and misunderstood.
Yeah,
Like,
they have a scene, because you can watch all the scenes. They have a scene of her in bed talking to him, kind of making fun of him, like, "Oh, you're gonna save the world, ha ha ha." And then you see her tail flicking underneath the sheets, and you're just kind of like, "I'm a maybe, man. I mean, I would be about it, I guess." But they took out the majority of her scenes in the whole movie, except for in the end when they hit the water. Help me out here. The emergency sprinkler.
The sprinklers in the hospital.
Yeah, when when the asylum, when all the other demons are ready for Mammon's ascension, he's gathered up a little group of...
They show her for just one moment, and she's just one of the half-breeds, and everyone dies there except for her. She's hiding underneath a table, and they let her go.
Was she the brunette?
Yeah, and she has like the one word that they say.
Holy water, and then she's like, yeah, I'm a bitch. But yeah, okay. Yeah, no, she's an actual character in the comic books. I think there's like love interest that never goes any further.
Kind of reminds me how they cut Shailene Woodley's scenes in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. She was supposed to play MJ, and they're going to have this love triangle with her and Gwen Stacy, but then they just cut all her scenes from the movie.
Damn.
Because they felt there was already too much going on in the movie as is.
Just have a 3-way and just get it over with. Like, I don't know. Like,
We're talking Spider-Man. You think Spider-Man has that kind of luck?
true.
He would get cucked sooner than anything, dude. Don't you dare.
You underestimate how much game Peter Parker got.
I mean, you're not wrong. He'd be pulling.
But he's had some of the saddest storylines.
Oh, hell yeah. It sucks being Peter Parker. There's this hilarious comic panel, though, where he's in the hospital or something, and Black Cat lets MJ borrow her Black Cat suit to visit him in the hospital, and he thinks he's having a dream because he sees Black Cat and MJ there. He's like, oh, I've missed having this dream. And then also confirmation that MJ has a fatter ass than Black Cat, because she was like, I can't believe you managed to fit that dump truck into my suit.
What the fuck?
There's some Rule 34 for you to look up later. PapaNasty's on a Rule 34 kick right now, so we're just handing him some good ideas.
I didn't know what that was until these perverts told me what it was.
He's not chronically online like you used to be, and I am.
All right, so, what's fascinating about this movie is so hell's literally about to break loose. That's insane. Constantine finds the vessel. That's going to be fucking taking over. He kills Balthazar, which is great. But this whole time, Constantine's dying because motherfucker won't stop smoking. And when he was a teenager, he tried to kill himself. And so he's damned to hell, even though he didn't die. He said he went to hell for 2 seconds. But for him, it was
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah. But it felt like forever when he was already dead.
So I have a theory on that. I don't think he was totally damned to hell. I think what's-her-face fucking with him all that long is what made him think that he was going to go to hell. And
Gabriel, probably.
so that way, because she said she'd been watching humanity forever, and she kind of hinted at that she had that disgust for humanity, and then she was always fucking with Constantine. So it kind of makes me think that maybe she was just saying that to him to cause him to lose faith, and which it worked. And so he didn't have that same faith. So he was doing things to do them to get into heaven.
Buy his way back into heaven.
Yeah, instead of actually to do it to be a good person. And I think it was her fucking with him.
There's very, very subtle implications that God likes Constantine, which is why he's been managed to be as good as he is at what he does.
Yeah. And the fact, I had a theory that I think you threw out the door, but I thought that maybe he had, because Chaz at the end of the films and / deleted scene, we see him rise up to become a half-breed angel. I thought God had sent him down there to watch Constantine's back and kind of be a little guardian angel.
That was a post-credit scene, right?
It was a post-credit scene, and then in the deleted scenes, they use it sooner, but it is a post-credit scene, yes.
But I thought maybe he had sent him down there just to help out and watch him just in case.
And then my argument is I argue he can see half-breeds, and that's what he literally says in the movie is, I look around and I could see half-breeds. And he sees a guy that's a demon. He sees a guy that's an angel.
No.
And then he looks at Chaz.
He never saw the angel guy. That was him talking about the breakdown of the truce between, not the truce, but
they're always around, and it was just kind of like a montage type deal.
He has the sight, though. That's the point. He has the sight, so he can see demons and angels.
The only problem with that is that he didn't even see Gabriel's in the room when
that's because Gabriel is an actual archangel, and they can conceal themselves, but then that's why he has his tattoo, so he can bring them forward.
Okay. There we go, sir. Okay.
I also wanted to elaborate a small detail. Constantine didn't kill Balthazar. Gabriel did, because Balthazar's final moments, he's saying, I upheld my end of the deal, and then Gabriel just, eviscerates him from existence or something like that.
Yeah, bye, bitch.
What was crazy was when she got pulled through all the fucking walls. That was insane.
That was cool.
What is the love interest? Not even the love interest, but the woman in the movie, the cool chick who finally accepts that she's a psychic.
Abigail. She, it was funny. There were scenes where they had she was trying to get the connection going, and then towards the end he's trying to, and then she's fucking with him back. But you could see that there's kiss me. Are you gonna kiss me? I don't know. Am I gonna kiss you? It was kind of the silliness. I was like, okay.
He kept doing this thing where he'd be like, wait a minute. He'd get close to her, but because he was doing something, he was putting a necklace on or something, and you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
That was a ship tease right there.
They dragged her ass to the hospital, and basically Maman was going to be burnt. The vessel is she's more of a doorway, I feel like, right? They're going to take the Spear of Destiny, puncture her, open that shit up. And what's sick as fuck is Constantine does get there with Chaz Kramer. They kill a bunch of half-breeds in like a pretty epic way, but he gets his ass kicked and he's just sitting in this other room. He has nothing he can fucking do. And then he comes up with the craziest fucking plan of all time.
What was the plan, Abel?
Wait, which part are you talking about exactly? Because we were all over the place for a second.
So right now, Abigail is we've confirmed she's the vessel.
Yeah, she's about to give birth to Amon. Gabriel's plan's about to come to fruition. And then, okay, yeah, you lost me because you're moving a bit too fast. Yeah, he decides, like, fuck it, I'm gonna call Lucifer to just deal with this shit.
Yeah, so he slits his wrists, yeah.
Yeah, he commits suicide because Lucifer shows up and he literally says that there's only one soul I'll come to collect for myself. So he shows up, Constantine gives him the laydown about what's about to happen. And Lucifer's like, you serious, bro? You better not be lying to me. And he's like, go check out the other room for yourself. And meanwhile, Lucifer basically has the power to stop time because he's having this conversation to Constantine, like in his dying moments, I guess. Because like everything's frozen.
I think it's a death thing, or like a traveling to going in between that next stage in life, that next dimension.
Probably.
Because remember when he goes to hell, time stops.
Yeah.
And then remember when he's in the ambulance and he's dying, time stopped again. And he had So I just think it was one of those scenes. But dude, that guy was a great fucking
Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare. He came up with his own costume design for the appearance of Lucifer. He had the off-white linen, and then also that he was going to have bare feet. Initially they were going to do leather pants, bare-chested, a dog collar with spikes, and
make him look so fucking edgy. That sounds so 2000s.
What is he like into BDSM? But
yeah,
fucking stupid, dumb. Oh, so dumb. Good thing he went around that route.
Also made him seem creepy because of the way he like keeps rubbing his feet on his leg or something like that.
He does look like a cokehead though.
He looks He looks like a club owner for sure. He's a guy that's assaulted male and female. Like,
oh
workers.
no!
Like that's a criminal right there.
Yeah, he's got a criminal intent for sure. But the exciting thing about this is like, holy shit, like a great depiction of like Lucifer himself in this movie that is no longer Constantine. It's about the battle of fucking hell and heaven. And he's going to take Constantine, but also he's like, well, I got to put an end to this shit real quick, right?
Yeah, because his son wants to usurp him as like the ruler of existence or some shit like that.
Yep. He would be the ultimate deity at that point.
And he was like, well, fuck him too.
Yeah, like, son of a bitch. All right, get back to your room, you little shit. And then as for you, Gabriel, boom, Gabriel tries to strike him down.
Smites her.
Yeah, and she's like, then, and the thing is, too, she was afraid of him. And usually angels or archangels are not supposed to be afraid of the devil. But she was genuine fear, which kind of shows that her lack of faith in God having her back or believing in herself.
I interpreted that as the fact that God lost favor in Gabriel, and like God's not going to stop Lucifer from hurting you because like you betray God by doing all this stuff.
Well, she knew she fucked up, or it knew that.
Okay, I got you guys. So God has not intervened this whole time, but when Gabriel did try to strike Lucifer, that was like the one thing you're not supposed to do. It's supposed to be a balance of influence of heaven and hell. Lucifer showed up, but he showed up to get Constantine's soul. And so it had nothing to do with anything. He was about to stop his son from doing some bullshit. The moment Gabriel tried to strike Lucifer head on, that was God's invitation. Yeah, that's where God was like, nope, bam, you're a human bitch. And I believe in the novelization, what the plan was God was going to just send Gabriel to hell, but Lucifer kept her as a human because he knew it would be worse. It'd be demeaning to her.
No, I was just saying, like, the beginning, like when he first enters, the fact that she's afraid and the fact that she cowers in the presence of him. Usually archangels are supposed to be the ones that are like, okay, like they'll stand up. Michael, all them are the ones that are like, hey, they'll fight demons. They banished him to hell. The fact that she was afraid was also like showed that she had lost her faith, that she knew she had fucked up, that she was on the dark side.
I think Gabriel was more surprised also that Lucifer would actually show himself. Lucifer probably never leaves hell for any reason except, like he said, he came personally for John.
Also, the intern pointed out that, I guess, allegedly in the Bible that Gabriel's not supposed to be the one to take down the devil one day. It's supposed to be Michael or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael sent him down to hell.
Michael is supposed to be the warrior archangel.
Yeah.
So, anyways, pretty fascinating. And so Constantine's gone for it. Like, Lucifer's about to take him, but they strike a deal. Constantine's like, okay, but can you at least send Abigail's sister to heaven, Isabel?
Yeah, trade a soul for a soul.
He's like, yeah, we'll do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Why not? You know, I'm finally getting you anyways. I don't care. And then he's starting to take him away, but then he starts getting accepted into heaven. Like, God's starting to take him.
Yeah, God's weighing him down, and like the earth is like holding John back. Like the devil can't drag him away anymore. And then he realizes, like, oh, he just sacrificed his life for someone else. That's like an one-way ticket to heaven or something like that.
If you're doing it with the
he
right
gets
reason.
so pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And then as he's getting accepted into heaven, he flips off Satan as well, which is great.
Which you told me a cool thing behind that, the flip off. I thought that's what got him. Like, that's how the devil was able to
God's
grab him.
possessing his body to do that.
Yeah, that's
so. Yeah, in the novelization, they do go into detail about it. What's hilarious is he slit his wrist, so he can't use his fucking tendons anymore. And he even says, "My hand doesn't work. Can you light the cigarette?" Cool, but then he manages to flip him off, and you're like, "What the fuck?" But it turns out that God had willed him to flip off Satan because he's a piece of shit. Also, in my mind, I was like, okay, so what happens is God's about to accept Constantine, so the devil's like, no, I'm not going to let you die. And so he reaches in, he pulls out the cancer as well as just harm on Constantine in general.
All the tar in his lungs, essentially, too.
And then, so it keeps him alive as a human, and Constantine wins. Everything goes in his favor. And so in my mind, I know Constantine's a conniving bastard. I'm like, did he plan this all along? I thought God would know if he did. But in the novelization, it turns out that he truly planned to sacrifice his soul. So I was like, okay, it just happened to work out for him. That's crazy.
He didn't think the devil would be so spiteful that he would resurrect John just because he wants to prove that Constantine deserves to go to hell, so he'll just find some other way to fuck up and get sent to hell.
Well, that's also another thing too, is like with the comics, is that Constantine has that. It's like a blessing, like the blessing of luck. So this kind of ties into that because it's just so fucking lucky that just fucking.
He's got in-universe plot armor.
Yeah, that just happened. So it's kind of. I know.
It's like that one girl in Deadpool. He was like, no, luck is not a superpower. She's like, yes, it is. And like, no, it's not. Yes, it is.
Domino. But then again, what is Abel's favorite line is?
It's not that kind of movie.
There it is.
That kind of movie. So it wraps up with a few fun things. They have one more will they, won't they moment, but then she leaves because Constantine canonically is about his own shit. He's about fighting the paranormal. He doesn't give he'll fuck bitches, but he's not trying to start a long-term relationship.
He's not trying to be tied down.
Yeah. She wanted too much. And he stops smoking. Yeah, he reaches for his pack of cigarettes, but it turns out it's actually some gum, which is sick. And then roll credits. After credit scene, he's visiting Chaz Kramer's grave, and he sees Chaz Kramer as a angel flying to heaven. And what the director said in the commentary of that was Chaz became an angel after death, or became a half-breed. He said half-breed. He said he became a half-breed. And so I'm like, okay, so what are you implying? Are you implying that he could come back as a half-breed then? Because if he's a human turned angel, he's not like a true angel. I don't know. He didn't say much about it. He casually threw that word around. And I'm like, maybe he did it by accident, but there is Constantine 2 officially confirmed. And so I'm curious as to what they could possibly do. And I did look up a handful of things, but do you guys have any ideas what they might do with the sequel?
I have not heard anything about it.
I think to your Chaz Kramer thing, I think they just kept it vague just because they had written a whole. I think they were working on a sequel, but then it just got scrapped or something happened with it. But I don't think they had the full idea and concept in mind. I think they just kept it vague.
Yeah, I think they've been wanting to make one for a long time. They just never did.
No, I know Keanu Reeves was wanting to redo that. Like that was one of his if he could do a sequel, if he can keep it going, do a series, keep it going. He wanted Constantine, but because they went so off route with this film, I don't think they had a full idea of what they had made. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like the Star Wars, they kept how they were making things and the prequels, and like they were doing making the history as it goes.
I wonder if they'll end the second movie with him finally getting the trench coat.
That would be dope.
I feel like they might even start it with it.
Yeah, at least with the trench coat. The hair dye would be way too much. The accent would be way, way too much.
He looked cool as fuck. he pulled off. This is my Constantine. Fuck your British ass sausage eating fucking Constantine. Fuck you.
Not my Constantine.
Yeah, fuck your Fox original television show canceled ass Constantine. This is my Constantine.
For a guy, they didn't want me to have an American flag in the background. That's so funny. You said
Yeah,
that.
he had to take down his Nazi flag to put up this one. I was like, that's crazy.
This is for the new. This is.
Wait a minute. Okay, that's not a good one. Okay, so there's a few random things, guys. For example, there's a concept of the first of the fallen, a cosmic figure who predates Lucifer and seeks to take over hell, making Constantine's previous deal with Lucifer null and void. So that one sounds pretty cool if they did something along those lines. Other people said exploration of other realms, purgatory, the dreaming, the astral plane. Also introducing other characters from the DC universe, which would be pretty sick because they could bring the Spectre and the Phantom Stranger in.
That would be
Could you
awesome.
imagine them doing that, like in this take of Constantine?
There's no way they'd have to do so much world building to make that work.
Which one's Judas?
The Stranger?
Who's the Spectre then? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Some cop?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
some guy that just died that just became like a super all powerful deity, like that can
The
go
Wrath of
between
God,
dimensions.
right?
Yeah, he's God's vengeance.
He's the wrath of God.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay, that's pretty fast. I always thought the Phantom Stranger was cool since you told me. But they could probably, if they could work in the Phantom Stranger, because ultimately he's like, he goes around and he kind of just fixes the plot.
He's a guide who acts as the hand of God. He basically puts people in the places they should be or ensures that certain things happen that they're supposed to. I believe the way the Stranger is paying his penance is like he has this like ring, this necklace of coins, and they never like outright confirmed, but it's like heavily implied he's Judas because those coins are supposed to be like the bribe Judas took to betray Jesus. And for everything he does for God, like every person he betrays to pay his penance, one coin falls off that and his debt's closer to being paid.
it's pretty cool.
Wait, so he has to betray people to
Unintentionally.
on behalf of God. Oh my God, that's pretty fucking cool.
He regrets betraying Jesus. So his penance is people he tries to help, he's actually going to accidentally betray. Like one of the first people he betrays accidentally was Raven. He delivered her to Trigon.
Whoa. Dude, that's pretty fucking interesting. Yeah, I respect that big time. I wonder if anybody has any good reviews on this. But all in all, great fucking movie. Yeah. Did you guys have any grievances with it, short of the personality change and that sort of thing?
No, it's great. Like as it is, like it was a fun movie that I would watch when it was on reruns on TV, and it was fun revisiting it for this pod.
Yeah,
The symbolism and everything was sick. I liked, especially right now, I feel like I'm on like a personal arc with like my relationship with like God and stuff. And so it was interesting to see them completely bastardize Catholicism and use it as symbolism for this movie.
oh my
I was like, that's crazy.
The freaking remember the billboard ad for the Chevy Equinox? Is like you're running out of time. Like all the just conveniently placed billboards, or like instead of got milk, it was like got faith.
Oh yeah, I did see. Yeah, I'm looking at Letterboxd reviews right now, and they're all just cheesy little one-liners. People are so proud of themselves. What if we kissed and Papa Midnight's Club? Like, you're so stupid.
10 stars for Tilda Swinton as a non-binary angel.
Oh.
Loki, I like the concept of that a little bit because angels aren't necessarily like humans.
Yeah, they would be more androgynous. People are just horny over Tilda Swinton, dude. That's crazy. Miss Tilda Swinton, step on me. Miss Rachel Weisz, step on me. Mr. Keanu Reeves, perform an exorcism on me.
Did you notice there were like freaking Gabriel and Lucifer were barefoot? Like, what's with all the feet shots? Or like that scene where like freaking Gabriel stepping on Keanu Reeves' face.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene. Did anyone else pause it, or was that just Eric?
You got something you want to share with the class, PapaNasty?
No.
I printed that shit.
That's perfect.
I printed that shit and put it on my wall like my other thing.
Like that fucking mushroom, man.
Imagine trying to get in touch with your psychic side by getting in the bath while wearing your 2004 Adidas sneakers. So stupid.
Oh yeah, I noticed. Yeah, that's what she was wearing when she was in the bathtub.
All right, somebody's got a pretty fun breakdown. I already like where they're going with this. Let's see where it goes. Andy Summers with a little cowboy hat emoji. Love it. So it was set in LA, and our John Constantine was an English blonde or bisexual. But in Keanu Reeves, we got sarcasm-filled, demon-bashing anti-hero with smarts. I always try to ignore the presence of Shia LaBeouf here, but the film more than made up for it with the casting of Peter Stormare, Tilda Swinton, and Gavin Rosdale, who genuinely seemed to defy time. Almost 40 at the time, but look 25. It's not a horror film, but it's a great supernatural thriller. Great set pieces, memorable ideas of heaven and hell alike. No Spice Girls there though, but give it time. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, pretty fascinating. I liked what that person kind of broke it down. I don't know why they hated Shia LaBeouf so much in 2014, but like I didn't like Shia LaBeouf.
I'm realizing how old this website is when I see the dates on, like, I thought this was like a more recent website to pop up.
That's crazy.
Constantine ran so the Sandman could fly. Low key, like, this movie did remind me a little bit of the Sandman TV series, but that's probably because the source material.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't think it. No, I watched the Sandman. I thought that was rough. I don't know. It was okay. I don't know.
I digged it.
I didn't care. Oh, there it is. The red nose. Here we go.
PapaNasty, you got the questions for us.
Oh, well, guys, do you vouch for me?
Yeah. Of course. 100%.
Makes up after the Joker.
Oh,
you are
okay.
forgiven.
Oh,
your absolution to heaven is allowed.
oh my god.
You repented with this one, bud. Yeah.
Okay. Watch, Mary, kill.
Actually, you have to ask for absolution to be given. I wanted to say watch, but at the same time, I do like this movie a lot. Maybe I'd marry it.
I'd marry this film.
At one point, I did want this DVD.
Ooh, there we go. Big Christmas gift from a fan. Here we go. Maybe. Yeah, I'd marry it.
I'd marry it on the grounds that I'd like want to introduce people to some cool superhero stuff without telling them what it is, and let them watch it the whole time, especially if they hate superheroes, and then at the end be like, that was from DC. Haha, I got you, bitch.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
It's fun recommending stuff to people that hate like comic adaptations. Like, it's a comic adaptation.
It's just funny that this is better than the Marvels. Better than would you say the Flash? The recent Flash one? Abel, did you see that one? Flash Paradox?
No, I still have not seen it.
Oh.
I tried to watch it. I didn't get very far. I didn't like his stature or the costume. It was weird. And then I learned too much about the guy who played the Flash, and I was like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit.
Ezra Miller.
Like out of his mind.
He's a fucking dirtbag. Yeah.
I wish that we could watch the deleted Batgirl movie, but they deleted it for tax purposes.
Yeah, they literally. I remember people were making fun of it, saying like, "What the fuck does Ezra Miller have on the studio that they're going out of the way to make sure this film releases, but then they're deleting everything else?"
That's a good question.
Jesus Christ!
Ooh, that's conspiracy pod right there.
I can't wait to make them do Digimon, guys. I'm gonna take them back to 2000. I'm gonna make you guys watch Digimon, and then we'll sing the song together. It's gonna be so good. Digimon, digital. At first, I was thinking Pokemon, the first movie, because it is good. But this is good. I genuinely, it's not a bad movie. I kind of want to see. I think the plot kind of jumps around. So let's see. You guys probably won't understand any of it, and I get to explain Digimon lore to you. Let's go.
I'll do my research.
He's like, move over, Abel. This time I get to info dump.
Yeah, got you guys.
Take your shirt off, Abel. I'm gonna dump on your chest.
By that, we're saving that for the Patreon.
Okay.
And PapaNasty's Rule 34. He's going to be drawing some new art. So you guys can get some stuff commissioned.
You'll find it on the Patreon.
Mm-hmm. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you. We'll get some more stuff out soon. We got Transformers cooking. We got other shit cooking.
Mm-hmm. We took a little break, but now we're back on it. And yeah, gentlemen, this was fun.
Hell yeah. Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Love you.